The rules are set, and the State Department of Agriculture is accepting applications from people who want to be hemp farmers. The state's trial hemp program could lead to a creation of a booming new agribusiness in Oklahoma.
CBD oil, one of the major products made from hemp, is growing in popularity in Oklahoma.
Incredible, because I didn't realize the side effects of what I was taking until I didn't have the side effects of what I was taking. So it's been amazing.
I started using the CBD, noticed right off that, I'd been missing out.
So it makes sense. There's a lot of enthusiasm for Oklahoma's newly launched industrial hemp pilot program. The program was enabled by the passage of legislation and the establishment of rules and regulations around the emerging industry. It was a journey to get Oklahoma to this point.
It all started about 3 years ago when we really started getting into the CBD business, and I began to understand the costs behind importing our cannabinoids from surrounding states that have legislation in place.
Oklahoma has a history of industrial hemp production as part of the war effort during World War II because the Japanese cut off U.S. supplies by taking over the Philippines and India.
When the Japanese took over those two countries and stopped the import of hemp into the United States, the government retracted a ban on growing hemp so that our farmers in the United States, particularly Oklahoma, were able to grow hemp.
Adding the state's financial woes to the mix, Shannon saw an opportunity to educate lawmakers about hemp.
When taking all of this into consideration, it only made sense to sit down with our legislators and show them what the history of hemp has been, not only in Oklahoma, but how much revenue is being spent on a yearly basis for hemp that is imported from outside of the United States that we would be able to recoup to help our state with our deficit.
One of the primary authors of the legislation enabling the pilot program says Oklahoma had plenty of other states' examples to learn what to do and what not to do.
So we started looking into what other states have done. At that time, 37 other states have implemented pilot programs. And we kind of took the best from each state and then we implemented it and tailored it for Oklahoma.
Here's how it works. A potential hemp farmer must partner with a higher education institution which has a plant sciences program, becoming a subcontractor to the university or college. The farmer also must have contracts for the hemp they sell after harvest.
Right now, Langston University and Redlands Community College are participating, and we just heard from Dean Kuhn, and they're going to give Oklahoma State about 6 months to implement the infrastructure needed to ensure that they're ready to go and hit the ground running. So Oklahoma State won't be taking applications for the 2018 growing season, but it's very likely they will for the 2019 growing season.
The legislation received overwhelming support from lawmakers and was signed into law by Governor Fallin earlier this year.
And since then, there's been a lot of excitement and involvement and interest from farmers and people from across the state, even students who are wanting to change their majors to agriculture because their family has a few acres that they want to take advantage of this opportunity.
The Oklahoma Department of Agriculture is tasked with regulating the pilot program.
There's a lot of people interested. One of the holdups, because under the statutory part of the bill, you have to have a relationship with the university because it is research. And so some of the universities are still trying to decide how they want to set these programs.
Producers must let the Department of Agriculture know where they're growing the hemp crops.
Because we also have some regulatory responsibilities in that we are to go sample it and check and make sure that it is a low THC product. And so we need to know where that's at and where it's being grown.
Hemp could help stabilize some agriculture producers who are facing price pressures for their crops.
Well, in Oklahoma, it looks like it's going to give us, another avenue of crops to grow. Wheat and some of our main crops we've grown, prices aren't quite as good. Down, especially since, over more recent years. And this will just be another avenue for those farmers to grow something and kind of diversify.
Oklahoma-grown hemp could lead to lower prices for CBD oil-based products, which have seen an increased demand across the nation.
We'll be able to extract the very beneficial cannabinoids from the hemp plant right here in Oklahoma, which will reduce the cost of supplements that people take on a daily basis that stimulate their endocannabinoid system.
Keep in mind, hemp is used for much more than a supplement.
I've spoken to one in Northeast Oklahoma who's got a contract with Tyson Chicken for animal bedding. I've talked to one in Southwest Oklahoma in Hollis who's got an industrial contract for insulation, attic insulation, and wall insulation. They're ready to go.
As the pilot program gets underway, Oklahoma-made hemp products could hit the shelf soon.
We can expect, based on the pilot program and the processing facilities that are being set up in Oklahoma right now, to be able to see Oklahoma-grown hemp products before the end of this year.